How often do you say no to things in your life when you actually should be saying yes? I was recently asked to throw out the ceremonial first pitch to the Beloit Sky Carps game, a minor league baseball game. And I want to tell you about it. And yes, it's about something that happened to me, but there's so many messages in here for anyone who's listening. It's all about conquering your fears and saying yes when you actually want to scream no. I'm Connie Jo Holmes. I'm the founder of Be You to Be Full Hypnosis and Coaching, and my mission is to teach individuals how to confidently and courageously move from reacting to life to owning your life. And right there, confident and courageous. So when I first got that letter, first of all, I was floored. But then I thought to myself, no, I can do this. I used to play softball all the time. I used to be a pitcher. Now, am I a little bit out of practice? Yes, I am. But I have those skills. So right there gave me the confidence to say, I can say yes to this. The courage came from, one, just deciding I was going to have the confidence in this. But also the courage is getting further and further expanded in me as I'm practicing. Because it's been many, many years since I have thrown a ball. And when I did, it was a softball on a softball field versus a baseball on a baseball field. So it's quite a bit different. But every day that I'm practicing and throwing that ball, I am building that courage muscle. So what in your life could you gain confidence and courage from just by practicing, just by going out there and saying yes and doing it? So that's the first part. The second part of my mission is to teach individuals how to move from reacting to life to owning your life. Well, a lot of times when we say yes, we are owning it. It is when we say no and then we have regrets, that is actually when we're reacting to life. Because had I said no to this opportunity, I would have been reacting to my fears and my doubts and my lack of confidence at the time and not having quite enough courage as I wanted to have. I would have been reacting to that. But instead, I said, hell yes, I'm going to do this. And then therefore, all of these other things are going to follow. As I'm building my confidence, as I am increasing my courage, I am owning my life. I am taking this opportunity into my own hands. One, I'm doing that by saying yes, but I'm really doing it because I am preparing myself for this opportunity. And in doing that, I'm going to keep repeating myself, but I am growing my confidence and my courage. And then also, what a great opportunity. And so therefore, that is such a great way to move from reacting to owning your life. So I share this personal story with you because how many times have you been given a fabulous opportunity and you said no to it? You said no because maybe you didn't feel prepared. Maybe you didn't feel deserving. Maybe you didn't feel that your time wasn't here and the time wasn't right for you. Well, how many times are these unique opportunities in life going to present themselves to you? Right there, I hope you're encouraged to start to say yes, because sometimes we only get opportunities once in a lifetime. Oh, now I'm thinking of the Eminem song. But anyways, but sometimes we do. We only get that one opportunity. And so then that's where we have regret because we thought, oh, it'll happen again or something like that. And then it never does. And then what for you? And then what for your soul, actually? But anyways, so some of the reasons why you might say no is, again, you might not feel ready yet. But you know what? Depending on when that opportunity is, crunch time, baby. Because by the time I was offered this, I had about a month, or I will have a month because the game is actually on August 29th. So please, if you're local to Beloit, Wisconsin, that is southern Wisconsin or northern Illinois, I'm going to have a special link in there for you to buy tickets. Actually, for this game, All the proceeds from the ticket sales are going to help individuals in Janesville, Wisconsin, who actually suffered from a tornado that hit here in June. So it's a beautiful purpose to go to the game. Plus, you'll be supporting me, and I appreciate that. But I know many people aren't local to this, so but there's still so many messages in here for you. But anyways, so I had about a month time to get ready for this. So even though you might not feel that you're ready right now, you have time to prepare. And even if it's pulling all-nighters, even if it is, going doubling down or something like that, but make that promise to yourself that when certain opportunities come up to you, you are going to say yes. If you feel that you are not deserving, trust me, there are so many beautiful small businesses around the Janesville, Beloit area, and I know there's many of them that are just, not more, just as deserving as I am. But you know what? I viewed it that if they thought enough to send me the letter, then I need to think enough about myself and my company to respond with a yes to that. Saying this out loud makes me think, in some cultures, if you are given a gift, and sometimes it might be a big elaborate gift, and it might be easy to say, no, I can't take that. I can't, do that. I can't accept that from you. We are actually being quite rude to that person who is offering us that gift, because in many cultures, gift giving you're giving a part of yourself in that gift. That's why sometimes these gifts are big and very, very worthy and things like that. So when we turn them down out of maybe our upbringing, our own beliefs or something like that, we are actually, in a sense, turning that person down because their gift giving is a part of them. So I always have that story and that factoid really in the back of my mind whenever I am given an opportunity. If I were to say no to that, that actually can be quite rude to the person that invited you or who asked you, because they thought enough of you to give you this opportunity. So if you turn it down, not only are you turning down that opportunity, you're also, sometimes you can be insulting that person as well. So just remember that if you are asked, then you are deserving. You are worthy of that. And that's a very important thing to know and to remember. And then the last example that I gave why somebody might say no is you don't quite feel, that you're ready yet. And I know that might go very much hand in hand with being prepared. But sometimes we have these fictitious lines that we cross, like that finish line. Like, well, once I do this, then I can do this. Once I do this, then I can do this. You know what? Put all that stuff down. Those are in our heads. They're not driven by anybody else. They are driven by us in our own minds. So therefore, we can change that. And I also like to say, using that as an example, if we have this fictitious line, finish line, or even an entry line, or some kind of an era that we're going into, we really need to be so cautious of that, because again, that might not ever be an opportunity for us again in the future. And then two, when we say yes to things that are actually stretching us, those things actually get us to that fictitious entry line or finish line that you might be having in your mind. Okay, so I just wanted to share all that with you. So yes, I am sharing a very personal, very exciting opportunity that I have, and I have two reasons for doing that. One is I wanted to use a personal story to show you things in your life and examples of how, where, and when you can start to say yes instead of saying no. But then also anyone who is local to the Janesville, Beloit, Wisconsin area, so it's southern Wisconsin or northern Illinois, check out the description box, because there is going to be a direct link on where you can purchase your tickets, and all proceeds from the ticket sales are going to go to to the victims of the tornado that hit Janesville, Wisconsin in June of 2024. And then also, who knows when you're going to be seeing this video, definitely look at some of my social media channels in September, because I'm going to show you my first pitch. I am good, bad, ugly, indifferent. First of all, it's not going to be anything but good because I am going to use my self-hypnosis in the process. Stick around, and I'm going to explain that for a second. But let me conclude with where I was going with this. But check out my social media channels because I am going to be highlighting this first pitch because it's something that is very exciting, a great opportunity, and I just want to share it with you all. So, but with the self-hypnosis, this is what I'm going to do. And I'm also giving a keynote presentation again in September. So I'm doing this for that as well. What you do is, because the power of our imagination cannot be highlighted for the importance of it enough, okay? The power of our imagination really can make all the difference in our life to us. So when you have something big coming up, imagine yourself. And, whether you just sit down in the middle of the day and just close your eyes, just relax into yourself, or when you do this, when you drift off to sleep at night. But just imagine yourself doing whatever it is. So for me, I'll use the first pitch. So I am going to imagine myself all the way from driving from my home to the ballpark to, going into guest services, doing whatever I need to do, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to picture what I'm wearing. I'm going to picture how I'm feeling that day. I'm going to picture myself walking on the field. I'm going to feel as much as what I possibly can with it. What will that feel like to come out of, that dugout area and go on to the field? What is that going to feel like? But I'm going to feel that inside of myself. I'm going to imagine myself getting up on that mound. I am going to imagine myself utilizing every single thing that I've practiced in my mind and my body prior to that moment, and just seeing and feeling myself giving that perfect throw. I am going to see it and feel it and hear it going over that home plate, just absolutely perfect. I'm going to hear that sound as it slams into that catcher's mitt. Those are all the things that I'm going to do. And then the next time I think about it, I am going to do the exact same thing, but I'm also going to imagine it going even better. And so an example of that is, when I get off of the field and go back to, the dugout area or the guest services area, I'm going to hear people say, "Oh my gosh, that was the best throw I've ever seen." I am going to imagine, the person that invited me to talk about an opportunity for me to come back in the future, those types of things. And that's what you do. Those are some things that you can do yourself when you are facing something big and new coming up in your life. If you're going to take a test for something, do the exact same thing. But it's really important to imagine every detail you possibly can. If you're going in to take a very important licensing test or something like that, maybe imagine smelling the ink in that ink pen. Feel that paper underneath your hand. Maybe I'm dating myself actually with this. They're probably on computers now. But anyways, but you get the point though. Just really bring yourself into every single sense that you possibly can into that situation. And think about it often, but feel into it. I can't express that enough. So, all right, there was a lot packed in there. I hope this was helpful. Again, look at my channel in the near future because I'm going to have an excellent ceremonial first pitch going over that home plate. All right, thank you so much. Take care. And hey, if you go to the game that night, come up and say hi. All right, thank you. Take care. Bye.